Kirschner, we've had a lot of these conversations. Donald Trump made a mockery of an insurrection. Donald Trump made a mockery of the Mueller investigation. Donald Trump made a mockery of our elections. Donald Trump has made a mockery of every institution he's touched or turned and talked about. He has now made a mockery of the rule of law. And I wonder what you think the rule of law and those who care about it do in response.
You know, there actually is an answer to this problem. There is a solution, but none of the institutions of government, none of the judges, none of the prosecutors have thus far been willing to do it. In 30 years, every single time I had a grand jury return felony charges against the defendant, I had a decision to make. I had to decide whether to file a motion for pretrial detention. The only factors that entered into that decision were, is there clear and convincing evidence that the defendant is a danger to the community or even one person in the community? If the answer to that question was yes, I was obliged to file a motion for pretrial detention. I was obliged to do it to protect the victim. I was obliged to do it to protect the community. And I knew that it was a lawful vehicle to mitigate the danger. No institution of government, no judge, no prosecutor has been willing to apply that law the way it would be applied to you, me, everybody on this panel, and virtually everybody else in America who wasn't named Donald Trump. I maintain Donald Trump is the single most dangerous defendant who's on pretrial release in the United States of America. He's a danger to the community. He's a danger to the witnesses. He's a danger to the jurors. He's a danger to the judges and their staff. He's a danger to the prosecutors and their staffs. He's a danger to the family members of all of those groups. And thus far, the institutions of government and the good people that populate those institutions have been willing to sacrifice the safety of all of those people. Indeed, they've been willing to, bet the future of our democracy on it rather than hold Donald Trump accountable as the law provides in the pretrial detention arena. That is the solution to the problem. I think, Nicole, part of the challenge is Donald Trump almost has too many criminal cases up and running at the same time. And there are 4 judges and 4 teams of prosecutors saying, well, maybe one of the other judges or the other prosecutors will apply the law of pretrial detention as it was designed to be applied. And thus far, nobody has applied it.
Yeah, he's always been